Hello, everybody, and a good day to you all. Today, I'm talking about X-Men '97, season 1, episode number 3, Fire Made Flesh. In this episode here, we get introduced to Mr. Sinister, also the Goblin Queen. We found out the mystery about who's who between which gene and which gene and stuff as well too. Hope for the future with Storm. Babies born and also lost, but not dead, but oh well, sent away. I mean, a lot of things happen in this episode right here, and I gotta say, first of all, the animation in this thing is amazing. I really do like the art style and the movement and the fight scene between like Magneto and Madeline Pryor, aka the Goblin Queen, was just beautiful to look at visually. The effects they do, and also like how they represented the Goblin Queen's power, making it different from Jean's, where Jean's was like all blue and like light, almost like angelic, and then hers was like green and purple, making it look more demonic and more evil like as well too. Even though they both had the same power set, and both seeing how the original is maybe slightly a little more powerful than the other. Seeing how their powers are being used as well too. Like and like even though they look exactly alike, you can tell them apart by how they because the voice actor, I think she's doing the voice for both, and I think she did an amazing job there. But she still managed to pretty much distinguish between the two, make them sound both different at the same time. It seems like Madeline's voice seems a little bit deeper than the other ones as well. It's very different, very sensual, kind of sexy type of vibe to it as well. It's very interesting how they play both of them off. I also really enjoyed the animation with inside the mansion when Madeline when it started going dark and she used her powers to get inside their minds and making them see that their worst nightmares come to life as well too, and playing off their emotions and their fears and insecurities and the visuals of that, the whole body horror situation gave it more creepier, more element to it I wasn't expecting or to see coming, which I thought was like just amazing as well too. And I'm enjoying the storytelling that they're doing in here as well. They're getting straight to the point. They're not playing around. There's no hemming and hawing here. It hasn't been like any type of filler episodes so far. The story just keeps going, but it also ends in a way that it ends smoothly. Like each episode, even though they do connect and they follow each other, they also end have an ending to them as well. I just think and then it's not like it's done completely. Like it's still something still could happen because like Sinister didn't get captured and taken to justice. No, he managed to get away, so he can still be a problem later on. But the storyline that they're telling here kind of got wrapped up here, like as well. Now there's something about this episode I didn't quite agree with as well. Like this, even though they made things slightly better than it was in the comic books, but between Scott, Jean, and Madeline and his baby, he didn't just abandon them and then just went to be a Jean, act like his son didn't exist anymore. He still wanted to be part of his child's life, but at the same time, he still in a way still did abandon them, even though he's simply saying, I don't want to abandon my son and blah 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 like my father, which is technically not true because his father didn't really abandon him. His father just got taken away and took by aliens and he was gone most of his life, and he also made another brother out there. So that's another thing. But in his mind, his father abandoned him, so he don't know. Yeah, I mean, his father didn't come back until he gets older. But his father did make an appearance in the series as well too. So sometimes I wonder, are they taking everything from the previous season, or are they just taking out certain parts? Because they do introduce things in the show that wasn't in the previous season, that was just in the comic books, like the Magneto and the Rogue relationship. Now that wasn't in the TV show, but that was in the comics and multiple versions of them as well too. Even a version of her a clone of him was a young version of him, which was Joseph. So that's different. Also, Morph looks more like the Morph in the comic books than he does than he did in the series, because at the time Morph didn't exist yet, and I don't think he appeared into the Exiles. And he had the white face, and he's more like comedic jokey. Well, he was kind of jokester there too, but it was more amped up in the comic books as well too. I also like the use of his powers. Now they use his powers in here because it pretty much get like Easter eggs to like the other characters. They show Colossus' sister in here, Ileana, which also is also very interesting because both of them kind of fight for their position in limbo as the queen of that place as well too, or rulers of that place. It's very interesting how she turns and how she Morph turned into her, and then she used her power to control him as her, and she turned to her the demonic form as the Eliana, which I thought was very interesting how they did that as well. I mean, they show him because Morph had turned into like Cyclops, he turned to Colossus, he turned to a lot of different people in here. He turned to Spyro, which now when they keep turning, when he turned to all these different people, I wonder this is just where they introduced them. So as I said, it might be coming later on. Like when he turned to Spyro, does that mean that they're going to have Mojo in here eventually? Because he was in the previous one. He might come back or not. Or just giving homages to the 1997 series. Maybe. I don't know. But either way, but I like the use of his powers here. I like how they're done. Now, and then another interesting thing that got revealed in here, now, I don't know what they're going to do with this or not, or anything at all. It seems like Morph has a little bit of a crush on Logan. Now I don't know if it's gonna become a thing or not a thing at all. I mean, I don't think Logan has any feelings for Morph at all. I mean, he thinks the season more like a buddy or a friend. And I know Morph likes to tease Logan about basically the relationship he feels towards Jean, but I never thought that Morph would have a crush on him. Which also kind of reminds me of a relationship between Logan, Wolverine, and Colossus in the Ultimate Universe. Well, Colossus was gay in that universe, and he had a crush on Logan as well too. They were also kind of buddies. And then when Logan found out that Colossus had a crush on him, it kind of messed up their friendship and relationship. So I wonder if they're going to do that kind of same storyline there, because they take a lot of stuff from the comic books and they put it in here, and instead of it being Colossus, they do that with Morph. With that, are they going to do anything with that or nothing at all? I don't know. We will see. We will see. But other than that, I really did enjoy this. How the story was told. How they had introduced Cable in here and show how he got the virus inside him in the first place, and also connection between. I thought it was very interesting how the connection they had between Forge, how he introduced into this series. Because first you have Bishop saying he knows a guy who can make things, and which most likely is talking about Forge in the future, and then you got Storm meaning Forge in the present, and so you've seen the connection that Forge has to them like throughout time, which I think is very interesting as well. So how he's helping them like throughout time is very interesting as well too. So great episode. It was very dark in here as well too. Also made some humor too as well too. And even though I do like Morph as a character, I think sometimes he can be a little bit mean, a little bit, especially knowing how Gambit feels about Rogue and also how he's insecure about the relationship Rogue has with Magneto, and then it makes matters even worse when everybody was going through all that traumatic things going on inside the horror house at the time. Magneto and Rogue wasn't even there. So where were they the whole entire time? Are they going to talk about that? Are they going to address that at all? Or are they going to let that go? I don't know. Because they coming in like this, what happened? We mean what happened? Weren't you there? Or didn't you see all the crazy stuff? Like this, what? How do you not? But I thought it was very interesting. It do speed up things here. But I thought it was interesting how Jean went from being Jean and then to the Goblet Queen, and then she get her name at the end of Madeline Pryor, and all wrapped up just like that too. Even the whole thing with the baby, worrying about that, got wrapped up in a way, even though it's kind of messed up. I mean, those people's gonna come back to Cable, which also makes things come back around full circle because Cable does make an appearance in the earlier series, but at the same, but you didn't know at the time that was just their son. They introduced him as Cyclops' son, and I don't think Madeline Pryor ever made an appearance in that series as well too. So that's very interesting. But the main thing I like the most out of this series is none of the characters seem to be suppressed of their powers. They seem to be them return their powers quite nicely to the comics. Now, I haven't seen Wolverine get badly damaged yet. I like to see how his healing factor is because in the cartoon series it was a lot slower. So I wonder how fast it would be here. We haven't seen him take any like really big damage. I mean, Magneto had ripped the animated out of his body yet, so we don't know how fast he can heal. And also, we haven't seen him fight anybody that caused him to get a lot of damage, like Sabretooth or Lady Deathstrike or Omega Red or anything like that. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there. But so far, they use Morph's power. Very interesting. Even how they show Cyclops and his abilities and stuff. I thought it was done quite well as well too. And Now that we know that Sinister's here, I wonder who they're going to have as the big threat now, because Magneto's on the good side this time, and he's leading X-Men, and also they show the difference between how Magneto would lead and also how Professor Xavier would lead as well too, because Magneto is more like, we gotta get this guy, we gotta take him out, we gotta deal with him right now, more like a strike force. Where Professor Xavier, he would try to be more like, maybe more strategic, maybe try to talk, be more a reasoning, try to understand them and understand what he's trying to do, because because of Magneto's way, would they be able to save the baby? Because from what happened, because what Cyclops did was a good thing. He did save his child, but at the same time, by him breaking him out of that vase before the thing was complete, he also almost in a way killed his child too. So would it have been better if Professor Xavier would have been leading the team, and would he have helped Cyclops find a better way to approach and what to do and not to do to get into that thing? Because the Jean wasn't quite able to do it just yet. But I did like how Jean's powers was used in here as well too. Even though her physical body wasn't there, she was still able to like telepathically without the help of Cerebro, which shows just how powerful she is. Now they have not labeled her at the Omega level, but in the comic she is. She's an Omega level telepath. I mean, they showed that Storm is an Omega level, but they never. But here you're seeing the difference, and that's how powerful Jean is. That's her body wasn't able to be there, but mentally, astral projection and using her telepathy to battle somebody who's been mind controlled by the Sinister and manage to free her brain as well too, and get her memories back. Like this, wow, that's amazing. That was amazing. So great episode, like the balance of horror and humor and this and watching the relationships between these characters is very interesting as well too. I have a lot of fun watching this show. I highly recommend it. Check it out for yourself. I having fun with it so far. The show has not been disappointing me just yet. I was worried about that. I mean, it could still fall off. Who knows? But this is the first season so far. So far, I'm feeling good that it's going to end well. But so leave your comments down below. Let me know what you thought of this episode of X-Men 97. If you haven't watched it, check it out for yourself. Hopefully you watch it, you will enjoy having watching it too. So give my channel a like, hit the thumbs up, shaboop, and subscribe to my channel and share. I really would appreciate it. Like I always say, in my dreams and real life, I am the Ninja Rabbit. Peace out, people.